Once again, indeed, we are coming live to you from Tswelelang Township in Wolmaransstad, still attending the mass funeral of 12 people who died in a road accident 4 weeks ago between Wolmaransstad and Ottosdal in the province. And we're still chatting to some of the family members to hear how the whole process has been, because you'd remember that it happened 4 weeks ago, and the families were told that for them to get the DNA results, it will take about 6 weeks. And they expressed so much frustration and devastation, saying 6 weeks is just too long for them to be in this process without burying their loved ones and hopefully starting with the healing process. And today we spoke to some of them already, and they were telling us that in as much as this is a tragic loss, it's a tragic accident that happened and they lost their loved ones, it's actually coming also as a relief that they're able to put this behind them and hopefully start with the healing process. But I'm joined by one of the family members of people who were deceased, Ntate Cyril Dipoko. He will tell us exactly how the whole tragedy has been to the family up until so far. Okay, Ntate Cyril Dipoko, please tell us, I understand it's been an absolute tragedy, a great loss, but how has it been for the family?
From the family, that we had a very painful situation, because the driver who was driving these people to their meetings for ZCC, it's my brother's son, and this son is a breadwinner to my brother, and my brother is a crippled someone, and he's over age now. But we say thanks to God, because the storm has passed over for us, and now we need people to be also helped, not only the Pokus family, but all these people to be helped for counseling, because it took so long for us to be relieved. Yeah. So now the storm is over, now we can feel it, now the pain is over to us.
And just also to remind the viewers a little bit that Ntate Dipoko is from a family where you'd remember that in the minibus 12 people died and only 2 people managed to survive, being a mother and his 9-year-old son. And the 9-year-old son witnessed everything, and he hasn't yet been able to receive counseling. The family is also hoping that the son will be able to get the counseling that he so much needs. You'd remember also that, in fact, the son was the only person who had managed to escape after the accident. But what he did after that, he managed to pull his mother out of the vehicle to safety just a few minutes before the minibus went in a blaze. And so people were still trapped inside the minibus when it caught fire. And unfortunately, they burned beyond recognition. And this is why the DNA tests took so long for the family to get the results. But we also want to hear from Ntate Dipoko how this young boy is recovering, how this young boy is doing so far. I know Ntate, he hasn't yet been able to receive counseling, but does he not get any nightmares perhaps at night? How is he doing?
No, really, he's a free guy at the moment. He's not having any nightmares. So he's communicating with the friends. He's doing everything. He's playing around. So, but we don't know the outcome of it when it's over now.
But you were also telling me earlier on that you picked something in his behavior, that sometimes he'd be playing with the little kids and then he'd just freeze like he's lost in a moment. And you were thinking maybe they could be affecting him a little bit?
Yes, that can happen, because after this happened, when the funeral is over, maybe his way now is going to think about his father. Now that comes back to him and can be a trauma to him. So we wish the people to help us. What they call it?
Well, the counselors.
The counselors, yes. They must have a counseling, because really it's going to be very difficult for him after this, yes.
Okay, Alicia, we also spoke to the Premier of the province, Premier Supra Mahumapelo, who also did make a promise that these families, including the young boy, will receive the counseling that they need. You'd also know that, as you can imagine, it's very traumatic. The boy witnessed his father dying in that incident, and he also saw 12 members that he knew very well from church dying before his very eyes. So that is very tragic, as you can imagine. But as you can see, the situation right now, the funeral is still underway, and in a few minutes we are expecting to see it go to the cemetery. So that's where we're going to leave it for now. We'll give you an update a little bit later on.
So Lon, a very quick one before I let you go, if you can still hear me. We hear that poor infrastructure was actually blamed for this accident, but has the official cause been determined by the relevant authorities as to what actually caused this accident, and what means are currently being put in place to try and deal with that impasse?
Well, Alicia, we actually posed that question to the Premier earlier on this morning when we spoke to him, asking, do we know at this stage what the cause was? And the Premier said, at this point, it is still not known what caused the accident. Investigations are still underway. But what he did say, though, is that from their side as the provincial government, they're going to make sure that the infrastructure is up to standard, the roads are safe. But he also pleaded and asked to people to drive safely on the roads, but it is not yet known at this point whether infrastructure was to blame or if the drivers were to blame or exactly what the cause of the accident was. But at this point, of course, we cannot speculate what caused the accident, but we'll definitely be asking the Premier going forward what will be done with the infrastructure.
All right, and besides the Premier Selwane, who else from the government delegation is touted to attend today's funeral?
Okay, the other people that we're seeing from government is the MEC of Transport Management and Public Safety, Dr. Mahumapelo, together with the local mayor in Wolmaransstad. They are here representing government to see to it that they see how the funeral goes, how everything goes, and also to interact once more with these families to find out from them what more assistance do they need to go forward. They had an interaction in the morning where the families were saying to them, look, we appreciate the support that you as government has given to us, but what we need more is counseling, because this was just very traumatic to us. So that's what has been happening so far.
Solane, thank you so much for that comprehensive update. We'll definitely touch base with you much later on. That is Silwane Kakao, our reporter on the scene in Wolmaransstad at the funeral service, the mass funeral service of 11 ZCC members who perished in a head-on collision, and their minibus taxi burst into flame.